Good day, financial planning world. Dan Davis, president and co-founder, coming to you from our 80K Wealth Advisory Group home office in St. Louis. As you know, we do best practice series, and our purpose for that is to help edify our community so we can bring better advice to clients all over the United States. And our financial planning best practice topic today is under the estate planning category, and specifically state issues. So there's really three. One is in the area of how much you can shelter from estate tax and how that differs in some states. The second is portability of that shelter amount. And then the third is inheritance tax. I kind of stumbled across this about maybe 5 years ago, I guess. I was practicing in St. Louis and Tennessee with the most clients, and then we've got clients scattered in probably 30 different cities. We were working with someone up in the Minneapolis area, and in dealing with their estate planning lawyer, it was the first time I had been working in a state where the amount you could shelter was actually lower than the federal limit. And according to the article October 27th, 2022 in Kiplinger's magazine, love the title, it's 18 states with scary death tax, and they feature a Grim Reaper as a picture. Pretty fascinating, funny. I definitely would recommend that you read the article. The link will show. And the reason why I would read it is that there's states that have significantly lower amounts than the 13 million in 2023 that you're currently able to shelter. So let's do an example. In Maine, Rhode Island, Vermont, Maryland, the list is fairly long. In those states, you can shelter less than half of that 13 million. So let's just say that you've got a client that's got an $8 million estate. And they say, well, I can shelter $13 million for me, sure, $13 million for my spouse. Planning's not that big of a deal. At the first death, I'll just let my money go to my spouse. At the second death, she's under 13. We're all good. Well, not so fast. Let's say that you're $8 million and the shelter amount's only $4. So $8 million first death, all under the one spouse, no estate tax. Second death, 8 million minus $4 million is going to be subject to state estate tax in that example. At a 10% rate, that's like $400,000. 5% is $200,000. Big numbers. So let's reverse it and say, okay, well, let's say that we were aware of that in a state like, say, for example, Minnesota or Oregon, Washington, Hawaii. We say, all right, we've got 8. At the first death, in this example, each state's got a little bit different numbers. I'm using 4 as the example. First death, we're going to make sure we capture $4 million of that for the first to die. $8 million estate, spouse has $4 million. Over here, she dies second, $4 million shelter, 0 tax. So you can either pay $400,000, $200,000, paying a tax rate, or 0 if you're not aware and implement the right plan. We all are aware now that at the federal level, portability has become an issue, so that, you know, if you file the right form at the estate tax 760, that at the first death, any unused credit goes to the second. So in this example, for example, 1313, used none of it, you got 26 million at the federal level. Well, most states don't adhere to portability. So it's a use it or lose it, like it used to be in the old school when we were practicing years ago. And then lastly, I was doing my continuing ed for my Tennessee insurance license and came across this chapter on inheritance tax. I hadn't really thought about it in a while. I had to really bring myself back up to speed. Some of you may be more adept at it, but the inheritance tax is different in that it's about the beneficiary, the benefactor, receiving money, paying a tax upon receipt. In states like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Nebraska, Kentucky, Iowa, and Maryland, who's on both lists, all charge an inheritance tax. So what's all this mean to you? First off, read the article, take a look at the clients that you have in different states, and really evaluate what's the action items. If you got a client in, say, for example, Maine, and let's say that's not your main office, no pun intended, then you're going to want to look at Maine's rules. You're going to want to have a conversation with that client, with their estate planning lawyer, make sure that everything's locked down, button tight, so that Maine client doesn't have problems. So I want to just thank you for taking the time. I know that your time's valuable These best practice videos are here to help us help others. If you have a topic that you'd like to share, simply go to Financial Planning World. We've got all the videos there that are in a library format you can watch, and then you can connect with me so that we can share your best practice. And then lastly, Financial Planning, LinkedIn, follow us, connect with us so that we can push these videos out to you easy. Thank you for your time. Signing off from the St. Louis office, ADK Wealth Advisory Group. Thank you very much.